Hello, everyone. Welcome to Warriors at Ease, Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Robin, and I'm a certified Warriors at Ease yoga and meditation teacher. I'm here to guide you through a 30-minute restorative practice today. And this practice is designed to unwind tension and anxiety from the body and the mind. And we will be using some props today to find supported poses on the earth and connect a little more deeply with our breath. So I just invite you to come into a place of rest and repose and restoring your energy today and releasing all the residue from the rest of the day. So these are the props that I'm going to be using today. I'm sitting on a folded blanket. I invite you to do that, to sit up on a blanket or a block just to lift the hips and drop the knees a little bit. I have another blanket that I'm using for a head support in one of the poses. A soft pillow will do just as well. I also have 2 blocks, and I will show you a variety of ways to do these poses. So if you don't have these things available to you, you can do them without, or you can kind of just make do with what you have. You could use an Afghan type blanket that goes on your sofa. You could use long sofa pillows. I have a bolster here. Not everybody has a bolster, but that, like I said, a long sofa pillow or a bed pillow would do. Decorator pillows. I have 2 kind of decorator pillows that I'm going to use today, and I'll show you how to use those. And I'm going to use a chair. So if you have a chair handy, or even a living room chair that you can put your feet up on, that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of lean into the chair today, and we're going to, at the end, we're going to do a resting pose with our legs on the chair. Okay, so let's begin. Come to your seated easy pose. And like I said, if you have a support to put underneath, great. And if not, that's fine too. If you're comfortable to connect your sit bones right down on the earth, that's awesome. And we're just going to begin to settle in, lengthen up through the torso, soften our hands on our knees, and maybe we turn the palms up or the palms down. Resting your hands down is kind of a little bit more grounding, and releasing your hands open is kind of like waiting or letting go. So whatever feels right for you in this moment, we're going to begin to connect with the breath. And I'm going to start with a square breathing breath practice. And most of you probably have heard or done a square breathing before, but I'm going to modify mine. I would like you to think of the image of a tall rectangle. So what we're going to be doing with that shape is inhaling along the top, a shorter line, and then exhaling a nice long line on the side. And then we will inhale again on the bottom line, and then we will exhale again along the long side. So if you can picture that image in your mind, the long sides are really to extend the exhale, which brings a calming response to the body and to the brain. All right, so let's try it. Here we go. We're going to draw the breath in, and you may soften your eyes down to the floor or close your eyes, whichever you're more comfortable with. All right, so let's begin. Inhale. Draw the top line on your rectangle. As you are ready, exhale nice and long. Draw the side down on your imaginary rectangle. When you have fully exhaled, inhale. Another bottom line that is the same length as the top of your rectangle. And then exhale nice and long up the side, reaching to the top of your shape again. Let's do a few more rounds of that. Inhale across the top. Exhale nice and long down to the bottom of your shape. Inhale across the bottom of your rectangle. And exhale nice and long up the side, meeting at the top. Again, inhale across the top. Exhale down the bottom. Inhale across the bottom. And exhale nice and long, reaching to the top. Now I invite you to just spend a few more breaths naturally, letting the breath come as it may. And as you're breathing, perhaps think of images like body like mountain, where you feel long and tall through your spine. Your sit bones are planted down on the earth. Your shoulders are soft and relaxed. Breathe easy here. And the next image is breath like breeze. Let the breath come in a soft, gentle flow. And our next image is mind like sky. So perhaps as you draw the breath in deeply into your belly, think of like parting the curtains or the shades. You're going to draw the thoughts away, clearing the mind with your inhale, and letting the mind feel open and expansive as you exhale. Take a few more breaths with these images: body like mountain, breath like the breeze, mind like sky. All right, let's prepare to shift. Okay, the first pose that we're going to move into is supported child's pose. So we're going to create a stack, and I'm going to show you a way that you could do this. So again, you could use a bolster, a stack of blankets. That's kind of a traditional way. But say you didn't have those in your home. Maybe you have yoga blocks. You might have those more likely than you would have a bolster. So I'm going to do this with yoga blocks and 2 pillows today. I'm actually going to overlap them a little bit just so I can raise the stack up. And I'm going to bring this stack of props in between my widened knees. And then I'm just going to fold my torso over the top. And I'm going to try to bring my head to rest on the pillow and turn my head to one side. Start with the side on your body that feels the most relaxed and most natural. And then just let your arms frame the stack. Notice the lengthening of your spine and the dropping of your tailbone. And begin to breathe easily here. Allow your body to feel like it's releasing. Maybe you can soften your shoulders. On an exhale is a good place to feel that sense of letting go. So you draw the breath in, you feel the connection on the front of your torso, on the supports, on the props. And then as you exhale, try to imagine softening and releasing. A nice mantra to think about is inhale, resting, exhale, softening. If at some point you feel like you're ready to make a switch, you can turn your head the other direction, which may feel a little bit more awkward, but it is part of the pose to release the neck and the shoulders and to bring a sense of balance. So it is a good opportunity to turn the head if you should choose to do so. And as you're breathing here, notice what sensations come up for you as you rest your torso on the supports, on the pillows or the props, whatever you have under you. How does it feel to have something pressing on the front of your body and kind of holding you up? Can you allow yourself to release just a little bit more into the pose? As you exhale, try to soften your facial muscles and your throat.
I like to think of resting my head on the pillow of the breath. Or seeking comfort in the body and ease in the mind. Take a few more breaths here, and then we're going to begin to draw ourselves up and we're going to shift our pose. Okay, so let's walk your hands up.
Draw yourself up. Take a nice exhale. Maybe draw your spine nice and long. Relax your shoulders down. Lift up through your neck. Take another breath in. Exhale. Kind of reorient yourself to an upright position. And then we're going to switch. So now we're going to take our resting into our shoulders and our chest. We're going to kind of open in our upper back. We're going to kind of open up the upper part of our chest and back. So I'm going to take one of these blocks and one pillow. And again, you could maybe use two pillows here. And then this is what the roll is here. I'm going to rest my head on that. And I'm going to position my upper back onto the pillow. And I'm going to lift my chin and let my neck extend, because we're opening through the throat here, bringing a little opening and relaxation here into the throat area. And so I'm going to let sort of the upper top of my head rest down onto that roll. So if you didn't have a blanket roll like this, you could use a pillow as well, but just something to support the head a little bit so that you're not hanging too deeply into your neck. All right, so I'm going to lay back here, and then I'm going to I'm extending my legs, and I'm going to bring my arms onto the forearms and the elbows. So the elbows are going to tuck in. So it's not straight arms here. It's a support with the arms. All right. And then I'm going to roll my head back. Just the roll of the support here, the prop here, and then lengthen. You kind of want to feel the weight of the head lengthening through your neck, if your neck is comfortable to do so. And feel that lifting and expansion across the chest. And the support right under your upper back. Your shoulders can begin to soften down around the pillow. I have not much weight in my arms at all. They're just tucking in here to give me a little extra support. And then I'm letting the tongue soften. I'm letting the jaw soften. And my throat to feel really spacious and open. Try to breathe through your nose if possible. You could part your lips slightly and breathe through your mouth if that's more comfortable for you. And as you exhale, see if you can feel the belly dropping down towards the spine. Notice a sense of spaciousness as the rib cage lifts and the pelvis drops, creating more space in the center of our being. Just notice what sensations come up for you as you are allowing yourself to rest into this pose. So this is a supported fish pose, designed to really open the chest. Helps with stimulating circulation, bringing fresh oxygenated blood towards your brain, relaxing the throat. This may be a challenging pose to stay in for a while. In restorative poses, typically you want to stay for 3 to 5 minutes. So allow yourself to maybe build up how much time you can remain in each pose, to allow yourself to benefit fully from what each pose has to offer you And each day will probably be different. All right, take a couple more breaths. And we're going to begin to shift. So depending on how your neck feels tonight, you could lift your head or you could just roll to one side and roll off of your supports. Whatever feels better for you. And then use your hands to press yourself up. All right. Okay, take a minute. Breathe here. Maybe lengthen up into staff pose. Rest the shoulders down. Lengthen up through your spine. Give yourself a minute to reorient again, the head to rise, to feel reoriented to upright position. And then we're going to come into some twists. So we're going to do supported leg twist. And I'm going to remove this pillow and block. And I'm going to use the bolster, but again, you could use 2 pillows or a long couch pillow here. A stack of blankets, whatever you have to use tonight. And we're going to bring our top leg onto, fold the leg onto the top of your prop stack. And then bring your lower thigh kind of right along the side. And then just lay right down. And what we're going to do is roll onto our back. I'm going to shift this neck roll out of the way, although it could feel really good. In fact, you know what? I'm going to leave it there because it does feel really good. So I'm supporting my neck now. But my shoulders are still able to reach the floor. My back one, of course, not so much as the one in front. And then I'm just going to let the weight of my body sink in. Beginning to feel what's connecting in my body here with this twist. So my chest is facing upwards while my hips are facing to the side. I really feel this twist feeling in my waist and midsection. And twists are powerful poses for releasing and moving toxins through the body, especially stress hormones. They're also helpful at supporting our vital functions. So like your metabolism, your digestion, circulatory systems in the body. They help to move things along. So breathe into it as best you can. Again, you have a little constriction here, but notice how fully you can breathe. And then what happens on the exhale as the body softens? Notice how the backs of your arms feel resting on the texture beneath them. Notice how your leg feels resting on the prop. Do you continue to feel the sensation of your leg, or does it begin to kind of have that floaty feeling? And feel the lengthening and opening in your hip and your lower back. See if you can notice all points of connection. And simultaneously feeling whole. All right, I invite you to take a nice deep breath here. And as you exhale, bring your back arm up and over, and we'll roll to the front and press ourselves up so that we can switch and take it around to the other side. All right, so we're just going to switch sides here. Same thing, bring that top leg over, long leg long, bottom leg long, along side stack. I'm going to use my roll on this side as well. All right, and coming on down, I'm going to roll onto my shoulders, lengthening my arms long. Adjusting my neck on the roll to feel the support. And then right away, see if you can begin to notice how the body rests on this side. And you may feel some real differences, or maybe not so much. Begin by pausing, softening, and noticing the ease of your breath. Feel the torso expand and contract with each breath. Feel the weight of your body on your hip as it rests on your mat. Feel the sensation of your chest trying to lift towards the ceiling and the lengthening of your arms. What is the sensation of the textures beneath you? How does your lower back and your hips feel in this twist pose with the leg resting on the prop? Sometimes some sensations just kind of float away. See if you can feel all points of contact with the floor. Again, noticing parts, sensation parts of your body, and then connecting them all as a whole. All on the breath. Take a couple more breaths here. And then bring that back arm up and over. And we'll roll to the side and press ourselves up. And the next thing we're going to do today are some pigeon poses right here. I'm going to bring this blanket on top so I can just create just a little bit more of a stack. I have my right leg bent forward. So I'm going to bring the stack right to the inside, right to the middle of my shin. And I'm going to kind of roll into my pigeon here. And again, if this is too much for you, you can always have a bent leg in the back. And then I'm just going to drape my torso down on top of the stack. Adjust it so you can find that sweet spot where you can just really draw your chest forward and bring it down onto the bolster. Leaning into that front hip. Back leg feels nice and long. Back feels relaxed. Torso resting on the stack. And feel yourself beginning to sink into the hip. Notice what you notice in terms of sensation. And you may decide that you don't want to stay in one of these poses as long as the others. Maybe the body just doesn't go there as well today, in this moment. This body, this day. Every day is a different day, which is why it's nice to practice as often as possible in order to just become more connected and acquainted with how you're doing in your body each day. And the more we practice, I'm going to bring myself up now to switch. The more we practice, the more the body and the brain begin to communicate more regularly, and your awareness comes to be heightened even when you're not practicing. That's what's kind of cool about it. All right, so now I'm going to shift to the other side, the other leg. And again, this side of the body may feel really different. You've got to kind of find where that stack is going to feel good for you to just release over in your torso and in your back. And find where that hip will be okay. It's all right if the hip rises up a little bit off the floor. That's fine. As long as you feel like you can come into a pose of rest and that you're not struggling
in it. And breathe here, softening the back. Try to release the shoulders with each exhale, releasing your upper back, allowing yourself to just lengthen on your props. Arms are softly supporting and framing your props on the floor. Breathe into that hip, that front hip that's really opening here. This side of the body, this day, this is how it feels today. In this moment, breathing softly. All right, and let's make our way up. Walk your hands back. Come on up. Maybe bend this back leg, bring it in to stack on top. Now we're going to move into working with the chair. So I'm going to bring a pillow to the chair and place this on the seat. And I'm going to pull the chair so that my legs come to a forward fold through the legs of my chair. And then I'm just going to bring my forehead to the edge of the chair and rest into my forward fold. Hands are soft down by my legs. Back is extended long. And I'm breathing here. Feeling the release in my back and my neck. Feeling my head supported by the chair and the pillow. I'm really able to let my shoulders go. And feel the benefit of the forward bend, but with lots of support. Not struggling here, just resting into this. Take a couple more breaths here, and then we're going to come into another chair pose. We're going to come to wide angle fold. So now we bring our legs to the outside of the legs of the chair. I'm going to push this back so I can make this a little different sensation in this particular pose. And what I'm going to do is grab the sides of the chair with my arms, and I'm going to lengthen forward because I want to feel the extension. We rounded in the forward fold, closed leg, and now I want to do with the wide angle, I want to feel that opening in my hips and my lower back. And so I'm going to just place my arms on the chair, lean my head forward, and lengthen in this position. And this may not be as comfortable for you. And again, if it begins to be a struggle, you can always pull the chair in a little bit closer and rest a little bit more of your torso. And that takes right away. I don't feel quite as much opening in my back and my hips. This feels more comfortable, more easy. But it kind of depends on what you're wanting to experience in your body. So you can always adjust as you need to. Take a few more breaths here. And then we're going to come into our final resting pose. So as you are ready, bring yourself up. I think I'm going to take my blanket back here and place it down on the mat so I can lay onto it. And I'm going to come alongside my chair, bring my side to my chair, just like we would do legs up the wall. Now we're going to use the chair support for our legs. So I'm going to come alongside, and then I'm just going to swing my legs up. Actually, I'm going to move this pillow a little too high. And I'm just going to lay my back onto the blanket. Ah, yes. And this is very releasing and relaxing immediately. I feel my back widen on the earth. I feel my shoulders soften. My legs are completely supported. And I feel like I could be here for a while. Breathing, connecting, softening, allowing my body to just release into the earth. And experiencing what I experience in this opportunity to rest and restore. This practice is as important as an active yoga practice. Because especially during stressful times, the brain needs to know how to self-regulate. And doing restful type poses helps with the body and the mind regulating together. So I hope you will stay here in this pose as long as is possible for you. And I'm going to roll myself off of my chair and come on up and close our practice today. I'd like to thank you for joining me as a part of Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience, and I hope you enjoyed this class. This video will be available to the public on the Warriors at Ease YouTube channel shortly. Please consider visiting the link below and making a donation to help us keep these classes going. Viewers like you make it possible for teachers like me to continue to provide these services. I'd just like to close class by bringing my hands together at Heart Center and say Namaste. May you continue in health, resilience, and connection. Again, I am Robin, signing off from Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience. Namaste.